Alright guys, so today I'm going to be doing a video on kind of how I like to set up my bars on my bike. And some stuff that I've learned. I've watched a couple of videos on how to set up your bars. Um, this is really kind of just for anybody who's got bars and doesn't like their position, or maybe doesn't like how it feels. So I've got a really low bar bend. Like this is the lowest bar bend that that ProTaper sells. That's not really like a flat bar. And let's see if I can find. Oh, I got all my stuff in my pocket. So get on the bike real quick. So the first thing, and I've got all my controls loose because I'm going to be doing that too. So you don't want your bars set up to where they're like that. If your bars are set out over your forks, you're going to be catching the complete, like everything that your forks are trying to dampen, you're going to be catching in your arms. So you kind of want to set them back a little bit, probably just a couple degrees off of your forks, because you want that little bit of extra dampening that you're gonna get from not being quite on it. Tighten these up where it's at. Now, I ripped into this and almost all my bolts were loose. None of them were tight anymore, which is never a good thing, because had I gone out and cased a double or cased anything last time I was riding, it would have definitely slipped my bars. Now, tighten this up. I had never really tried to set up these bars, but now they're in a good position to where they're keeping my elbows up and keeping them out where they're supposed to be. I'm not trying to ride like this. They're in a position that they automatically prop my elbows. Now, what you want to do after that is take your clutch perch, and you don't want to have your clutch perch so far out on your bars. Now, mine are untrimmed, where you got your fingers, and this is how I normally grab with my middle two or my back three. Where you're grabbing like way up on them. So I slide mine back a little bit. The further you go back, the more leverage you're going to have. A really nice thing about these ProTaper ones is they're adjustable to your finger length. So I got mine right out, my first knuckle out, stretches around them. You can see I got just the tip of the pinky. I don't really need more, don't really need less. Kind of drop it so that it's right. It's holding my hand like this instead of like this, because if you're like this, you're going to be gripping a little bit harder. But if it's coming right down the palm of your hand, kind of like that, it's going to be real. It's going to be a lot better. You're not going to be gripping as hard. You're not going to get as much arm pump. Slide it out so that you're gripping the meat, and that's kind of right what you want. I try to put mine kind of right there. Is a good adjustment for me, because like I said, I either grab with my middle two or my last three, which my dad can't stand. And now I'm going to be able to keep my fingers on it, and my clutch has got like a no play in it, so immediately when I go to grab it, it's there. So kind of adjust that where it's at. Yeah, like I said, almost none of this stuff was tight. Like, there was only one bolt tightened on everything, so that's really kind of not a good position. I'm also going to be setting up my throttle today. It was in a bad spot for where I like it. It was kind of keeping my brake from being where I've kind of wanted it. I've known that since I set up these bars, but I kind of wanted my throttle to where I was going to grab a little bit more, and I've kind of not been liking that. I find that I kind of whiskey throttle a little bit more when it's like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my throttle about like that and come underneath of it and adjust it. You can see my bike's on the stand, so it's wanting to rock back and forth. If you guys want to know how to make a wooden stand like this because you're poor like me, I'll do a video on it. I mean, they're cheap and they work, so they work good too. The only problem I have is I would probably make the bottom out of 10 instead of 8, but want to make sure to be careful not to strip your bolts. And now it's in a good point where it's far enough back that I can still easy get my full throttle. Like easy. That's actually better than it was. And now when I'm riding, my arms are like this. I turn my throttle and I'm wide open. It's a quarter turn to wide. So that's in a good position. Now same thing as with the brake is with the clutch. Just you're gonna want to bring it up. Now I don't generally use my front brake. I'm trying to break myself of that habit. No pun intended. Both my brakes are crap. Neither of them work worth anything. So, but you kind of want your front brake in a position. Now I use my front two instead of my rear two like I do on my clutch with my brake. So you want it in a position where you're always going to be on it, and really you only need one. But grab the wrench, kind of tighten that out. Now I've got something cool on these bars here that I kind of want to show you guys. I probably already have. Give me a second to tighten these up, and I'll show you guys. And then I'll show you guys my brake lever and why I have it set the way I have it set. And my shift lever is really high also. And that's more than anything because when I'm wearing boots, or my old boots at least, whoo! The bike slid back on the stand. The stand's kind of greasy right now. Now that I got this out of the way, I can get down and off of it though. That was sketchy. Anyway, get this tightened up, and there's that, and that. Now that's all tight, and my brakes in a position where it's kind of level with where my hand's going to be, especially because I keep my throttle wrist a little bit higher to get a little bit more turn, so I can grab it good. I need to adjust it further out because it's hitting my knuckle, but show you guys. I've got this set really high. Usually these would be set probably right at the bottom of my finger, but my old boots had a really high what you call them, like a bridge, I guess, over the top of my foot. So the top of the shoes were really high, so I have this set high. My dad's noticed. He didn't like that. When I was wearing cowboy boots and riding, I hated it. And my brake, because my back brake's almost out, is also set kind of high but also level. It's just a little bit above, and I can adjust that. All I got to do is pull that. But my back brake really doesn't work, so I've got it set a little bit higher. You got to actually pick up your foot or move your foot forward to tap it. But that's okay because I ride on the bridge of my foot and I don't need brakes where I'm going. So I might just adjust that just a little bit higher. But these are nice. I fitted this from a YZ125 and it did not want to mesh with this master cylinder. But I got skills with a grinder. So, grinded it up, made it work the way I wanted it to. Got to adjust it out a little bit because it's hitting my knuckles before the brake engages, which is probably why it's, what am I trying to say here? Why it doesn't engage right the way I want it to, other than the fact that it's pretty much empty through that set glass. I don't know if y'all can see that. I guess you do need brake fluid to actually run your brakes these days. Apparently they're not Bluetooth yet, so yeah. But I just wanted to do a little quick bar setup video with you guys. I hadn't set my bars, like I said. I just kind of threw them together and went riding. So now they're set up definitely a lot nicer. Ergo is just taking a little. It took me like 9 minutes to set the bars completely, and that's what talking to you guys. It would have took me 5 otherwise. So probably gonna adjust this. It's a nice breakaway, and then yeah, then I'm set to go riding. Peace. Like and subscribe.
If you find the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah. I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see, yeah. These days I don't worry about much.